and Shai. Can you hear me? And is that the correct way to pronounce your name?
Yeah, you got it bang on. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm just in a pub in Salzburg at the moment, so there's a bit of background music.
That's what I like to hear, Shai. I like to hear that you're in the pub. Wait, did you say you're in Salzburg?
Yeah, so I'm over
Australia.
from. No, I'm over from Australia, traveling Europe at the moment for like 2 months, and I'm kind of in and out of London because it's a bit more cheaper to travel and stay in a hotel in London. So I'm kind of in and out of the UK for the game. So I've actually been to a few of the games recently, and I'm going to be back on Thursday for United. And so I'm in.
What did you think of tonight? What did you think of tonight?
Well, I'm just happy that the curse is over for me, because since I'm being in the UK, or since I've been over in Europe, we actually haven't won a game. And I was getting like GoFundMe pages kind of from my guys in Australia to get me back to Australia, because I honestly swore like that for as long as like I was here. You know, like I was in Vienna the other 2 days ago watching the game, and it was 1-1, and thank God I was surrounded by Rapid Vienna supporters who also lost. So kind of a nice, nice solemn environment. But no, tonight was, I mean, honestly, I missed like 2 of the goals because I was just like looking away, and I just couldn't believe it. Like it was just a needed performance. I think that it was so much criticism over Ange, and I'm not going to go on because I didn't know Ange from the last 10 years or so. I only really knew about it since Celtic and that. So it's not because I'm Australian, but I just think that it just takes a bit of that, that just slight criticism away from Ange, and the whole storyline. I'm being so convinced of it recently is that that Conte interview just sings. It's like changing the manager is going to do nothing. Like it's showing it, and I think that it's exactly what he needed. So
and
it was excellent.
And how much excitement does the fact that we played so many young players tonight, and they were able to kind of handle the pressure of not only a Premier League away tie, but a Premier League away tie when there's so much stress around the club as well. I personally think that will just bode so well for the future, and it's very exciting. Yeah,
look, I think it's really good that they did. I think it's a necessary evil in a way. Like, it's not what we want at the end of the day, throw all these young kids in there. But I think, again, I think the fact that even Jed Spence started shows, people are Angela listening to, anyone like, well, he's like, okay. And it was great. Like, I think I don't know, like, I'm just so, he speaks so well that I'm not here to sing it. Like, I know he's got his faults and stuff, but it's like, as he said, it's like, it's not the ideal situation, but I think it's great. Like, BERGVALL is Alistair Gold, apparently, so it's meant to be said. He played excellently. I think Gray, I thought he put up with an injury at the end, actually. I was like, oh God, not another one. But, he's playing really well. I think it's difficult. Everyone says, oh, Gray's 40 million pounds, this and that. But I was speaking to someone at the pub today, actually, and I'm like, he's only 40 million pounds because City were going to pay 30 million for him. And then if they got them, he would have said he's some sort of wonder kid. So we actually, we did the right thing, but unfortunately we then need to go spend that 50 or 60 million on another Solanke or someone else. So I think, the value is only what we're willing to pay for him. But again, he's showing great quality. I think having Alfie Dorrington, and I think Lancashire came on as well. But as Ange said, how many 18-year-olds are starting games regularly? It's mental. Like, I literally only 2 players I knew off our bench. I think really were, well, anyone who would have, as in I knew of them, but like other, Brennan Johnson and who else?
Werner.
And Pedro Porro.
Oh, and Werner.
And Werner, sorry, Werner. Like the rest of them, if you ask any other fan, any of these, fan that doesn't watch Tottenham, not a clue. Like, oh, Ledley King's back? No, that's a different game. With that desperate ring,
And you mentioned Jed Spence, and I was just clicking over. They're just showing
they were
just showing the replay of his run for the first goal in the first minute. To me, let me know what you think, because I said this a couple of times in the watch along. Could he just be one of those players who maybe doesn't really do it in training in the same way, and maybe looks a little less fair? Because when he plays in games, he's clearly incredibly brave, composed. Also, he's a big guy and he's strong, and that helps us in the air as well. I think he's a really exciting player.
I'm laughing because I know I'm not probably another channel, but if you listen to Fighting Cock and ask what they think Jed Spence is doing in the background, then like something, he's got to be doing something. But it's like, no, honestly, I don't understand. I think again, as you said earlier with Fraser Forster, we don't know what goes on in training. We don't, we don't know if something's happening there with what they present to the media one way. I think every time he's come on, he's shown that he is great, and I think that. But again, at the end of the day, like it's like anything in life. We're all kind of like supporters, and all of us, we know so little compared to the people in the everyday workings of it. And if you want Andrew, and whatever, you've got to try to believe that someone who's managed for 20, 30 years, he's not playing someone. I mean, look what we did to Gareth Bale. He plays on the left. 10 years ago, and then we all every supporter would just shut up. It's very much like we really don't. I'm not knocking out saying it's great having me. We don't know what we're talking about half the time with it. So I don't think we actually know. It's not like he's a club signing it. That Conte went on about and that was it something. But at the end of the day, I'm also like, who cares? Like he's on. He did great. Like. May continue because now Udogie is hopefully not out for too long. It's we need everyone. So
For me, I think just one of the real positives tonight is just I feel hopefully now we can just lay to rest for a little bit more this kind of away form thing, and also this Postecoglou is going to leave thing, and just let's try and like you said at the beginning. Or maybe it was a previous caller. We've got these games now coming up against teams who hopefully are going to come at us a bit more, and therefore we can hit them. And we just need to go on a run, and this run needs to coincide with when these players are coming back. So, what do you think we can do in the next few games? Do you think is that possible to go on a run that we need?
Look, I think we're about as predictable as the weather, like in terms of we don't know. We're playing United at a Carabao Cup game. I'm really hopeful that I would be there as well, and may the curse end. But for me, the league, it's important. It's important that we just keep showing fight and that with it. I think we just need to show some consistency, but also, and I hate using the injuries because it sounds like you're an old whingy. But as we said, look at it, like 9 players from the spine of our team is out in general. Like, and I know that it looks like on paper with the front three he has a strong side, but like Gray, it's a third position that he's playing in. Dragerson was all but not playing one game. Fraser Forster is half retired and he's doing fantastic for us. Like I don't know is the answer, and I think that we. And again, I just hope with someone like United, which probably getting onto it, I hope with United, it's not a matter of character. Like I just hope, like if we don't win, like we obviously don't want to, it's not a matter of mentality or character. It's a matter of like a wonder goal from them. Or obviously I want us to win, but it's like I think that's the biggest thing is that we need to, Andrew made a very good point earlier. He's like, well, it's a mentality thing, this and that. Well, that's excuses for it, but also. Pretty prevalent as well, and that's what I'm just hoping for. The performances just don't show a weak mentality, because that's what is the most difficult part.
Totally agree. Well, listen, Shai, it's been great to talk to you, and let's talk again maybe when you're in London or back in Australia or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks, and cheers for the good work as well, Chris, and everything. It's brilliant.
Top man. Enjoy your rest of your night, mate. Have a good.